Well, I think the first thing that happens is, now you're down to 4 D-Linemen, and everybody's rep count's got to go up. So to me, that's the biggest adjustment. Obviously, you lose the player, which is no good on multiple fronts. But it's a rep thing, too.
How do you think those guys that had stepped those reps up did with the increase?
Yeah, they did fine. Jordan had a bunch of reps, probably more than he's ever had in a game. Same thing with Ojomo. BY had to play more than we thought he would. So I thought they did fine. I mean, obviously it could be better. That we didn't shut down the running game by any means. We all could have been a little better.
And we used your linebackers on the edge with Jihad Campbell in that role most of the game or all the game. Why was Jihad Campbell your best suited for that role and not Bond?
Well, it just in those particular times we do it, Zach actually would do a good job up there, and he was our preferred guy last year when we had N'Kobe to be up there. Then when N'Kobe got hurt in the playoffs, Bond stayed in the middle and Orrin went up. We just, Bond's more capable of handling the middle part of that job. Is really.
Jalen this week? There's no word from the league yet.
Yeah, I haven't heard.
I had asked you last week about the nastiness that he brings, and we used.
Yeah, what did I tell you? And what did I tell you?
Yes.
Okay, so I ended up being right on that. You were wrong.
You meant? What happened with him ultimately? Is that what you were talking about?
Yeah, I mean, not to that nth degree, but yeah, that type of stuff.
But I meant in terms of like him being focused.
Yeah.
Concern.
Yeah, you got to be focused at the job at hand, and all extracurricular stuff needs to not have any importance to you.
How are you approaching this week with the uncertainty of whether he'll be available to you or not?
I think we'll know something soon enough.
With the Dory, struggled a little bit, started to make some plays. What did you see from him overall?
He just got to make sure he's a master technician and not let his technique falter. They have good receivers, and if you don't go about your job the right way from a technique standpoint, those good receivers become impossible to cover.
How does Gary Smith fit in here? And over the course of his career, how much have you tracked him?
I haven't really tracked him that much. I knew he was a good player, and I don't know how he'll fit in yet. Haven't seen him on the field. Don't know what kind of shape he's in. Don't know how quickly he'll pick up what we're doing. So that's a TBD right there.
Davis, we talked all offseason about his conditioning. Did you see the benefits of that in those expanded snaps?
Very much so. I don't think he could have played that amount of snaps as well as he did previously.
Is the plan to have Adoree start this week against Kansas City?
Right now, yes.
What's the teaching point that Jordan was in on a sack? Davis was in on that sack, but he couldn't finish that. What's the teaching point there?
Yeah, it's hard. He's a very hard guy to tackle, number one. He's a big, strong guy. And when you're coming off a block like he was, makes it even more difficult. We just need to have more guys around him so when he's escaping, there's other people there to clean it up.
Would Cooper DeJean be someone you'd consider like full-time on the outside? I know you said once before, that it depends on if you have someone to replace him at nickel and everything. I mean, is that kind of still the issue?
Preferably, we want to keep him at nickel.
I'm curious if you saw the Chiefs-Chargers game where Mahomes was running towards the sideline. The corner kind of conceded, okay, he can go out of bounds, and then Mahomes ran him over. And then other times you see Mahomes near the sideline, gets hit very lightly, acts like he got shot. So what's the teaching point there in terms of him riding the sideline like that?
Yeah, you have to always be aware when you're near the sideline for all those points you just brought up. One, the quarterback flopping, going out of bounds. Two, the quarterback lowering his shoulder and try and get the last piece of business in there. So you got to play with good bent knees and be ready for anything that happens. But Mahomes is the ultimate competitor, and doesn't surprise me to see him do that.
How did you land on the way you handled that rotation?
Well, the plan was that Sidney would play the base snaps and Makubu would play the nickel snaps. And we thought going into the game we would be in base more than we were, but they chose to pretty much make it a 3 wide receiver game. So the reps got distorted that way.
How do you think that Drew handled that extra workload at safety?
He did okay. He had a couple major busts that hurt us and could have hurt us even more. So looking for him to improve this next week.
It's been a couple of years now where the Chiefs have kind of nickel and dime their way down the field at the number of big plays they've had. They produce lately over the last year or so, 2 years, isn't what it once was under Mahomes. How does that factor into preparation, even though you have a quarterback who's that dynamic?
I think they will continue to throw it deep some. I think they've made it a major emphasis this year. And they did it in their first game. They did it in the preseason. So I expect to see more of that. I'm not sure the exact number of it. 7, I knew you would know. Yeah, that's not enough.
I imagine Byron played a little bit more than he expected because of Jalen. How did he hold up?
He did good. He gave us some energy, ran to the ball hard, almost had that pick on the deflection, was involved with the caused fumble. I don't know who they ended up giving that to, Campbell, but if it was a sack, I think they would have halved it. So he did fine, and hopefully that's something for him to build on.
The volume of flags that you drew, was that the byproduct of the emphasis from officials, or do you think you guys need to clean yourselves up?
We need to clean ourselves up.
When Ja'Kai Campbell and Saquon, both of them made some pretty big plays in coverage, it seemed like. What did you learn about that on and on-field in the regular season? What can having 2 guys like that unlock in terms of what you can do defensively?
Yeah, they both did a good job. They each had one. Coincidentally, they both had one in practice during the week last week and didn't cover it as well as they did in the game, which is why practice is important.
We'll do a couple more.
You've been around Jalen Carter for over a year now. Behind the scenes, how have you seen him maybe step into a leadership role, or just how have you seen him maybe mature over the past year since you've been around?
Well, to be considered a leader, actions speak louder than words, and he's got to lead through his actions.
Do you speak to him, or do you leave that to Nick and Howie?
Pretty much Nick on that, when it gets to that extreme. Pretty much that.
How do you feel about it right now?
We'll see. Like we said earlier, don't really know what Zadarius brings or doesn't bring. Uche got in there a few snaps the other night and did some good stuff. So we're feeling better about it.
With some size, 6'4", 270, is that something that you like where you can shift inside and work there too?
Yeah, it's possible.
Okay. Thanks, everybody.